Good afternoon, good morning, folks. My name is Ryan, and this is the channel Overlordshiny. Today's topics, we got three. First off, we got Magic the Gathering and Warhammer collaborating on a new commander deck or decks for Magic the Gathering. Now, this is all precursory at this point. The announcement was made last week on the 25th, and it got me thinking about it a little bit and that what shape that could take and how would they actually go about it. Now, looking at the article, and hopefully I have time to edit this and put it on screen somewhere. If not, oops. Anyway, all right, so the exact statement as we scroll down is Universes Beyond will bring the mighty heroes, twisted villains, and fearsome xeno races of the 41st millennium to glossy cardstock. For Warhammer 40,000 fans is a chance to command the forces you know and love in an entirely fresh way, while cooing over some lavish new art too. And for Magic the Gatherings, it's a okay, I'm gonna skim. So on one hand, I heard this was going to be a commander deck, but I don't actually see that on their webpage for whatever, Games Workshop's community website. So, quick Google search to the Batcave. All right, Warhammer Magic Gathering. Now, the first thing that pops up is Polygon. I'm not a huge fan of Polygon itself. I'm not a fan of politics in anything near my gaming. But it's the top search, so let's just do this. Okay. So this is going to be a feature crossover with other franchises to include Warhammer 40,000 and Middle-earth. I'm very excited about the Middle-earth bit too, I might add. I am more curious if this is going to be more along the lines of the movie or if it's going to be more along the lines of something else entirely. Personally, I'm good for both, but I think it'd be easier just to do the movies myself. I mean, the work's already done. Not that it's done for anything for Middle-earth already. There's tons of fan artwork out there, tons of artwork done by professionals. So I could see that being a big hit as well. All right. I'm looking. It doesn't say. Did they change it or? Here we go. This is a different page on the same website. Department of Redundancy, I guess. This new line will not be merely a set of alternate cards available online. Universes Beyond products will generally be sold in all Magic channels. These will not be strictly Secret Lair products. I know a little bit about Magic the Gathering. I played a bit. I thought I was better than what I was until I lost about 6 times to my brother-in-law, and he was like, dude, I thought you said you were good. And I was like, dude, I thought I was. That's kind of how I play Warhammer 2, I might say. Just kidding. I worse than that. Anyway. All right. The Warhammer 40,000 Commander decks. So that's plural, which implies we're getting more than one deck. Now, I don't know if they're going to do this as sort of a unicolor. You know, like, who the heck would be the white? You know, the red to me is automatically screaming orcs because that's what red plays into. Maybe even green. But it says decks, which is exciting. I could see this being a very, very popular product. If you guys are thinking of getting some and are hem-hawing over it, I can see a lot of resell value out of these. That's not why I would collect it. I would collect it so I could play my friends and introduce them to 40K, particularly if they know Magic the Gathering. This is how I'm kind of converting my friends slowly into my hobby. You know, I find something they love and I see how Warhammer applies to it, and I just attack. Just kidding. I don't really attack. I bring it up casually in every conversation I can. Stock market, eh? You ever hear of Warhammer? Cryptocurrency? Sounds like a Warhammer thing. New car? Do you know what a rhino is? Okay, I'm not that bad. I'm just having some fun here. All right, so that is the news for Magic the Gathering. Fairly exciting. If you guys have any comments about that, by all means, go ahead and put it down below. And I'm going to do my best at replying back, particularly because I'm a small channel. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of replies, but hey, I'm game if you are. All right, next we have the Rat Prince. Now, this was just posted today, Monday, the 1st of March. So I really don't know what time you guys are watching this, but yeah, let's pop that up on screen. So this is the new model Monday, and it starts off with Vampire Rat style icon. It's Kritsa the Rat Prince. And automatically, there are a few things that I am picking up. He does have that sort of nobleman vampire look. And then he has rat tails and rat pelts. I get the distinct impression this is going to be sort of a character as opposed to a generic model. You know, sort of like the difference between, Nagash and a necromancer, or even Sigval the Magnificent versus a Lord of Pain. You know, which would be interesting because we have seen some art aesthetics already, rat aesthetics from the Warhammer Quest box set. They had sort of these swarms of undead rats on them. And I can't help but feel like we're missing Skaven at this point. Skaven are the de facto rat people. I think it's only appropriate here. But we have Kritsa, and we are getting hints here as to several different sub-factions within the faction. For you 40K players, that'd be like the difference between chapter tactics within the generic Ultramarine book. I mean, the Space Marine book. I said that on accident, but I kind of feel it's applicable anyway. For fantasy, it'd be the difference between chambers of Stormcast or lodges for Fire Slayers. You know, that sort of gig. But they're calling them dynasties, which is very Necron sounding to me. I realize dynasty can apply to a lot of things, but we have a hint that one of them is called the Virgos dynasty. I get the distinct impression that this is going to be the primary dynasty, the one that all the heroes get lopped into. Games Workshop is really a big fan of putting all their eggs in that sort of like main dynasty basket, and you get that a lot across the board. So we do know that there's dynasties. We do know that one of them is Vrygos, and we do know that he is sort of a oddball character. You may have noticed the Rat Prince's fabulous, or should I say, verminous, cloak and somewhat murine appearance. What appears his unorthodox transformation into a vampire had some unusual side effects. In addition to be accompanied by his vermintide of rats, both living and undead, Kritsa can transform into a swarm of rodents to evade his foes. And we got rat tails. I like the idea that they have like this sort of imperial, majestic, almost well-kept appearances. You know, they're all well dressed. Everything is well tailored. They got walking sticks, and that doesn't appear to be a rapier. That appears to be a really big sword, like a sword and a half or a two-hander, which is sort of at odds with his appearance. But they have more of a regal bearing than we have seen traditionally in Warhammer. They mostly have that more armored versus lavish, almost obscenely lavish wear or attire. They sort of broke the mold here with the rat thing, and I don't know how that's going to play out for the rest of the faction. I assume this is a one-off model. I mean, for all we know, each dynasty could be like have its own critter theme. For all we know, we don't. We are seeing a lot of rat action here, so that's cool. I think as far as new model Mondays, I actually like this already. We've only had one, but it's nice to see new models on a more daily or more weekly cadence, in addition to just the Tip Tuesday. So yeah, exciting news. And if you have any thoughts about that, go ahead and post them down below. I'm going to say that a lot because I'm trying to get some engagement here. The last topic, of course, is the bizarre box sets for 40K. We finally have 40K news here, folks. And it's not good news, unfortunately. The Necron Royal Court and the Space Marines Honored of the Chapter was announced last week for pre-order for this weekend. And basically, it takes all the content from the Indominus box set that you can't buy individually, and it puts them together into a different box set. Not a bad idea. You have some things like the Justiciar, you have the Chapter Ancient, you even have a chaplain there who looks distinctly chaplain-esque, I might say. He's one of my favorite chaplains so far, outside of any of the Dark Angel stuff. But by the Emperor, did they really upcharge us? We're talking about $140 for Honor to the Chapter, and we're talking about $110 for Necron Royal Court. The Necron Royal Court. So I love Necrons as my very first 40K army. I love the whole Terminator aesthetic. I was there when they were riding around space scooters for destroyers. I really do love Necrons. I even loved them in their, space Egyptian phase. I know a lot of people weren't into that, but I liked them because it was actually the first update we got for Necrons, and I was just excited to get something. But this is their fourth update. I'm not counting the one-off model releases in between editions. We had the big update when they became Space Egyptians. We had another update where they got the Tesseract Vault. And then we got this update. And we got the Cesaric, the Illuminator update, in addition to this update. All right. So I'm just going to give my blunt opinion here. They are overpriced as all get out. I'll give this 5 out of 5 heretics for heresy here. I mean, you were talking about $110 for something that would... Well, first off, let's get into it. Indominus box set was $200, and you got a lot of models from it. You had not only these models and the Heroes of the Imperium, but you had additional bikers. You had the first implementation of the Assault Marines. You had 20 Necron warriors. You had Scorpic destroyers. It was a great box set, and I hope Games Workshop does those in the future. I think that was fantastic value. I think it was a fantastic box set. Great theme. It was really a step up from their usual starter boxes. But what we're looking at here is ridiculous because the Necron Royal Court alone is half that box cost. Likewise, with the Honor of the Chapter being at 140, a little over 100, a little over 50% of the box. And this doesn't even cover 50% of the content. I want to say that they should have dropped the price considerably on these. I'm not entirely sure what their marketing strategy is for this, because I don't think people are going to buy it. In fact, if I was Games Workshop, I would have released a chapter Ancient in its own little $35 clan pack. Same with the Justiciar and the Chaplain. I wouldn't even have tried to do the Vanguard or the Eradicators for the Hunter of the chapter. I would have just had those sculpts be purely available only in, one of the 3 box sets they have out now. Same with the Necron Royal Court. I would have had those all be box sets. I would have had the Cryptek and the 2 Murder Buckets together. I would have had the Scorpek Lord in its own box set, and I don't think you're going to sell any reanimators until you fix them rules-wise. You could actually say that the reanimator is actually the most disappointing part of that box set from a rules standpoint. I love the model, but that thing needs some serious rules point drops, or I don't know. I almost want to say you need something like a Silent King rework. Like the Silent King needs to go there and bless it to be cheaper. That's my cat. Anyway, that is it for the Monday musings. I'm still working on that title. I'm trying to get a lot more better with these videos. If you have any opinions, feel free to drop them or contact me at overlordshiny.com. This is my cat. Hey, buddy. And that's it for today. Leave a like if you like my content. Subscribe if you really want to see more of this mug. If not, I understand. Have yourself a good day.